Hi, welcome to today's class. Please don't forget to always like and subscribe to this channel. Like and subscribe to this channel. Alright, so today we're looking at comparison operators. Okay, comparison operators. Now, these operators, they help to compare two variables and return a true or false output. These operators are less than, equal to, greater than, greater than or equal to, not equal to, and equal to. So these are the symbols which I'm going to type out here now. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. All right, so these are the various operators for comparing. Okay, for comparing. So we'll take example of the first two, then you can try out the other ones yourself. All right. So now let's say I have let's num1 is assigned 2. Okay, let num2 is assigned 4. So let's compare. Alert num1 is less than, sorry, greater than num2. Let's see what we have here. False. Is that true? Yes, because 2 is not greater than 4. But if we change here to less than, then we should have true. So comparison operators returns a Boolean result, true or false. Okay, true means yes, it's correct, or the truth. While false means no, it's not correct. All right. Okay. So this is how you compare um, variables. Okay. This is how you compare variables. One thing you should also know that true means 1, false means 0. Now let's change this to 1, and let's change this to true. Or let's change this to 0. Let's change this to false. Now if I should say num1 is equal to num2, what will it give us? True. But is that the truth? No, it's not. Because 0 is not equal to false. Now there's something that happens. Because 0 is number, false is Boolean. So how are they equal? But there's something you should understand is that when equality sign is used to compare between two variables, what happens is that it converts the other variable to a number. So in other words, it converts both variables to numbers. It cannot differentiate between 0 from false, okay? Because it converts the data type to number. Note, operands of different types are converted to numbers by the equality sign. Operands of different types are converted to numbers by the equality sign. So, but when we use strict, okay, when we use strict, strict gives us the accurate value or result because it does not convert, all right? It does not convert. It reads or compare the two types of data based on their default settings without attempting to convert them. Okay, so that's how it works. So now let's go over to logical operators. Logical operators are operators that can be applied to values of any type. Okay, and their result is of any type. The following are the logical operators we have. Okay, the following are the logical operators. One, we have or, which has a symbol of these two parallel lines. Two, we have and, which uses two ampere symbols. Three, we have not, which uses this symbol. Okay. Now, for or to return true result, it means one output must be true. All right. For it to return false, it means both outputs must be false. Why for and? For and to return true, it means most values. It means both values must be true. It will return false if either of the value is true. Okay. Why not? It will return the opposite of a value. So not true, it returns false. Okay. Not true returns false. Now, let's take examples of this we have written. So if we are saying let num1 is assigned 5, then let num2 is assigned 6. So if we say alert num1 less than num2 or num1 greater than num2. Okay, so what do you think it will output? Let's check and see. It outputs true. Why? Why? Can you tell me? Yes, you guess right. Because this one is true and this one is false. And the rule says that one must be true for the output to be what? True. So, sorry, this is false while this is true. Okay. Now, if I change this to and, if I change this to and, then it will return false. Because for it to return true, both must be true. So I need to change this to that. Now this should return true. Is that clear? So that's the simple logic between and or. Okay, and or. So or returns or evaluate operands from left to right. Okay. Number two, or for each operand, or convert it to a boolean. Now, if the result is true, it stops and returns the original value of that operand. Is that okay? Now, if all operands have been evaluated, okay, then it returns the last operand. All right. So that is what we have seen from this example. Okay. Please, if you don't understand, ask your question in the comment section and I'll answer you. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Please press the subscribe button. So the same thing applies to not. Okay, if it's not true, it's false. Not 5 is not true is false. Okay. All right. So now let's go over to our conditional if statement. Conditional if statement. Then we'll write some simple codes. All right. So now, what do we mean by conditional if statement? Sometimes we need to perform different actions based on different conditions, right? Yes. There are times we want to perform some actions based on some simple conditions. What do? We can use the if statement, okay, to achieve this. So the if statement evaluates a condition in parentheses, and if the result is true, it executes a block of code. All right. The if statement evaluates the condition in the parentheses. Okay. If the result is true, it returns what? A block of code. Else, it returns false. That's the if else statement. Okay. Example. Example. Let's say I have a variable. Let's year is assigned 2024. Okay. Now let user inputs. So let's ask the user a question. A simple code to ask the user a question. Okay. Down. The question will be prompt. Prompt is a method or function that is used to get input from the user. Okay. Just to get input from the user. So prompt, what is what no rather what year are we now? Okay. So prompt is used to get um, response from the user. All right. So now, if the user's input, okay, variable is assigned what, or rather is equal to what year, okay, then it should alert a simple message. You are correct. Else, it should alert a simple message. Sorry, you entered a wrong answer. Okay, sorry, you entered a wrong answer. Now let's see what we have. You see, this is the function of prompts. This dialog box it's achieved by prompts. So it's asking you, what year are we now? So let's say I enter 2023. You see, you entered a wrong answer. All right. What about I enter 2024? You are correct. Okay. All right. So you see that this if statement is used to check if this condition is true. If it is true, what happens? It returns this block of code here that ended here. All right. It returns this block of code that ended here. Else, it will return this block of code. Else there means this condition is not what? True. Else there means what? This condition is not what? True. All right. This condition is not true. So this is how to use the if else statements. If you have any question, please leave it in the comment section below and I'll answer it. Let's take another example again. Another simple example. Let's say we want to check if a user is eligible to vote. Try it yourself. Pause this video and try it yourself. Pause the video and try it yourself to check if a user is eligible to vote or not. All right. So I believe you got it, right? But if you don't get it, don't worry. Just look at the question, the solution below. So let's user or voter age, okay, is assigned what? 18. Okay. Then let's user verification is assigned prompts, right? Please enter your age to confirm your eligibility. Okay. Now, if user verification, okay, is what? Greater than or equal to what? Voter age, because it's 18 and above, right? So we say greater than or equal to our what? Comparison operator, right? Voter age. If it is true, what should happen? Alert what? Congratulations. You are eligible to vote. Else, alert what? Sorry, you are not eligible to vote. Okay, now let's see what we have. So we would refresh. It says, please enter your age to confirm your eligibility, right? So let's say we enter 12. Oh, sorry, you're not eligible to vote. Okay, let's enter 20. Congratulations, you are eligible to vote. Okay, let's enter 18. You see that, congratulations, you are eligible to vote. Let's enter 25. Exactly. Okay, so now you see that, why is this so? You see, a variable was declared at this point here. All right, and it's placing a boundary of 18. So we're now saying get the user's response from this prompt. Remember, prompt is to what? Get user's input. So we are given a condition here, and the condition is this: if user verification is what? Greater than or equal to voter age, this variable here. All right, what should happen? Alert what now? This message to the person. Else, what should happen? Alert this message to the user. You are getting the gist now, right? Yes. So this is how to combine, or is now you see now we have combined what? Comparison operator. We've used it here. Okay, so as we progress, we'll be putting together all that you have been learning so far, right from day one. Okay, so don't forget to go back and watch previous classes. If you have not watched it, please go back and watch previous classes if you have not watched it. Okay, so that you can understand how these things work and you become a better programmer at the end of this course. Okay, all right, let's look at other examples. What if we want to have several if statements, several conditional statements? What do we do? Yes, what do we do? We now employ what we call else if statements. Else if statements. Okay, or else if clause. Let's take an example. Let's say we want to check when was COVID. When was COVID? Okay, so let's write this code. So I'll say let's COVID year is assigned 2020. Okay, 2020. All right. So now let's say let's user input, or let's use user input prompt question when which year was COVID-19 intense. All right, which year was COVID-19 intense? That is which year was it more serious? Okay, so now if if the user inputs is what less than COVID year, okay, if it's less than COVID year, what should happen? Oh, it should just alert. Oops. Oops. Too early. Try again. Okay. Then we can say else if, okay, else if user inputs greater than what? COVID year. Then we can alert what? alert, oops, that is too late. Or let's say that is above the expected answer. So I will give the person a clue. Then else. So if the person now entered 2020, oh, correct. Else, alert, exactly, you are correct. Exactly, you are correct. So now let's see what we have. Okay, if we enter 2018, oops, too early, try again. If we enter 2020, exactly, you are correct. What if we enter 2021? Oops, that's above the expected word answer. Okay, so this is just a simple logic code, all right, to check. You see, we combine our what comparison operators, okay, and our what if what statements to check for these conditions. To check for these conditions. If you don't understand, please leave your questions below and I will answer it for you. Okay? If you don't understand, please leave your question below and I will answer them for you. Now, this is the um, variable declared. Okay, if you don't understand variable, please go back to my videos and watch variables. Go back to my videos and watch variables so you have understanding about variables. Okay, remember we are breaking it down to the very minimum so that you can understand it. This is absolutely for beginners. Okay, we are going gradually to the what professional level. All right, so this is variable declared initialized. All right, so at this point here we are getting the user input from the user. Okay, then we're now saying if the user input, okay, is less than the defined variable COVID year, it should alert the results. Else, if the user input is greater than the defined variable, it should alert its results. But if these conditions are not true, but the person enters this correct answer, then you should alert this what results. Okay, all right. So we can rewrite this whole code. Okay, we can rewrite this whole code using what we call ternary operator. Using what we call ternary operators. So we'll just write this. So say let's output, okay, is assigned what? COVID here. Okay. If it is so, you should what? Ternary operator. Then you should alert. You should alert a string. Let's copy this and place there. You should alert a string. That a column should be at the front there. Okay. Or if another condition, or if this condition, okay, or if this condition, then you should alert this message here. Okay. Okay. Else, you should alert this last message. Okay. Then let's finally alert our outputs. So let's see what we have. 2020, correct. 2021, correct. 2018, correct. All right. So now, this is another easier way to write the if statement. Okay, using the multiple ternary operator. Okay, to return multiple ternary operator. Okay, it may be difficult at first to understand what's going on here, but when you take a closer look to this, it will just be an ordinary sequence of numbers of tests that you're checking. The first question mark here checks whether this condition is true. Then if it is true, it returns this result. Okay, it goes to the next condition too. If this is true, it returns this result. Else, it returns this result. Is that okay? All right. So I believe you understand this tax very well. If you have any question, please leave it below and I'll answer your questions. Please practice this. Give yourself more tasks. Okay? Give yourself more tasks and see how you can just play around with using this. Okay? So please don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. Subscribe to our videos, please, and like these videos. See you in my next class. Bye bye.